It didn't take many days before the Volvo EX90 was revealed to the world before I went out and ordered one. So in this video, I'm going to tell you guys why I actually went out and ordered a Volvo EX90, if you should go out and order a Volvo EX90, and also what are the competitors if you're looking at a Volvo EX90. My name is Chris. I have this channel dedicated to electric vehicles. We do range tests, we do reviews, we do charging tests, and also talk about new electric cars like the Volvo EX90. So if you're new here, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Thank you very much. And also, if you like electric cars in general, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button down below. So let's go. If you aren't new here and you are a long-time subscriber, I just want to say thank you very much for the support. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. And also, I'm really trying to hit that 40,000 subscriber mark before Christmas. So that would be a really nice present from you to me. Well, if you hit that button down below. But okay, guys, enough about that. My point is, if you aren't new here, it may not be news to you that I haven't only had one Volvo EX90, I've actually had two. And actually, the whole channel started with me taking delivery of my very first Volvo EX90 back in February of 2016. That was the first video here on the channel. I'm gonna link it down below. It is a very bad and terrible video filmed on my phone, but I often go back and look at that just to see, how far the channel has come in that year, and also just to see how bad the video quality was, and also just to take a look at my first Volvo EX90, because I do love a big and large boxy SUV. I am a sucker for a luxurious SUV. So it's not news to a lot of people who have been following the channel for a while that this Volvo EX90, which basically is the electric version of the Volvo XC90, though it is on a new platform, is not called the same thing, and they're still going to build the Volvo XC90 alongside this car. This is the replacement. This is the electric replacement we've been waiting for so many years. And I've been talking about this on the channel for so many years that once they reveal it, I'm going to order it. And well, that's what I have done. So it's not news to people, as I said, but I want to do a rundown because, it's not just like maybe you guys want a more, detailed and deeper explanation. So let's hop into it. So first off, as I said, I am a sucker for a big, luxurious, boxy SUV. You guys may have heard the saying is that, people with small penises really like or drive big SUVs, and I love big SUVs. So you can, do the calculations in your head what I mean with that. Okay, enough about the jokes, guys. But having a large SUV, there are a few benefits. So I like, the presence. I like sitting high up, with a view over other traffic. It just gives you, this confidence and this safety driving a car. It actually also calms you down, because you're not stressed out. You're not sitting there in a small car and you're stressed that somebody's going to hit you. In my opinion, it just makes you a better driver also. But I mean, there may be studies that disagree with me there. And also, I actually often take trips with my friends. We fill up the car with 2 or 3 friends. Maybe we go on a trip, maybe we go shopping across the border in Sweden. We fill up the car. And the past year I've been doing that I currently, daily a Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo for you guys who are new here. And that's a nice car, not the biggest car, but often, if we're like 3 friends who want to come with, I'm like, oh, there's only room for 2 of you because we can fit 3 people extra, in the car, 3 passengers plus me. But we're not going to be able to fit all the stuff we buy in Sweden if we do so. So having a bigger car does come with its advantages. Not only going to Sweden to shop, of course, it's kind of dumb buying a large and expensive SUV to go to Sweden and save money. That doesn't make sense, but we Norwegians, we, do a lot of strange things that doesn't make sense. But also, go on trips to cabins, go on trips in general where now I have the option to bring more people. We can travel in a group. So that's pretty nice. And also, for you guys who are new here, I am also from Western Norway, but I live in Oslo, but I'm originally from Bergen. So I have my mother there, I have a lot of my friends and my family, and I try to travel there like 5 to 6 times a year. And when I do travel, you know, I bring my daughter now is almost 5 years old now, but when she was small, we had to bring all her stuff. And you don't want to put that in the back seat, because if you have a crash, everything's gonna go flying. So you want to put all the things in the trunk so they are safe. So I mean, people who have children know that, you know, the cars you thought were big for like 2 people, once you have 1 or 2 children, cars become quite small and cramped. It's amazing how much, you know, child seats and all of that, you know, room that takes. So having a bigger car actually makes life a little bit easier. And going to Bergen and also bringing my mother back often, having, you know, that extra room and space, going a longer trip, I really do appreciate. And also, it's not, you know, news to anybody that in Norway we have cold and harsh winters, especially here in eastern Norway, and having a car with high ground clearance and four-wheel drive is an advantage, because you know, you could probably get along or get by quite nice with front wheel drive, but the problem is often the ground clearance, because you know, here it can snow a lot. So just having that ground clearance, that air suspension, I've never got stuck with any of my XC90s, but I did get stuck with a Volvo V90 once because of that lacking ground clearance. But in general, this is a car that I lust over. I think it is beautiful. I loved the first generation Volvo XC90. I have a very fond memory of that when I was like 19 years old. Me and my friend, we were working at this grocery store at the time. His parents had a Volvo XC90. This was like back in 2003 or 2004. I just remember it just was such nice and luxurious car. And then the second generation, when that also came out, I remember seeing one for the very first time in the flesh in 2015, and I've had 2 of them. I love these Volvo XC90s, and this new one, I think, is the prettiest, the most modern, and the sleekest one yet. So this is a car, you know, I just want. I'm seeing that this video may become a little bit long, because I often go on these rants when I talk about things I like, especially. So I'm going to be dividing this video into chapters down below, so if there's a section you find boring, just skip to the section you really want to watch. But okay, let's hop into the competition. And if you want to get a big and large luxurious SUV that is electric in 2022 or soon 2023, there are quite a few options now. So there are a few options that have 5 seats and a few options that have 7 seats. So first off, we have the brand new facelifted Audi Q8 e-tron, which was, you know, the old version was called the e-tron 50, e-tron 55, and e-tron S. Now it's called the Q8 e-tron 50, 55, and S. And that was just revealed the same day as the Volvo EX90. So this is a large, luxurious SUV, not as big, it's about a size smaller than the EX90, and it has 2 rows of seating, so 5 seats in total. I've had one of these. This was when my channel went all electric about 2 years ago, when I took delivery of a 55. A brilliant car, I loved that to death, but you know, I switched into an Audi e-tron GT because that was a car I was really lusting for. But that is a nice choice. The upgraded version, you know, gets much more range and also even faster charging. And then we have the BMW iX, and I think this is only a 5-seater, but can you get it as a 7-seater? I'm not sure, actually, but this car, I think it is. I don't think it's pretty. I remember I first saw one in photos and I'm like, nah, it doesn't look good. And then it grew on me, and then I saw them in real life and I'm like, yeah, it kind of looks good. But now I just think it looks boring. It looks bland. It looks ugly, especially with the other versions of electric cars here in the market. But I've heard that it is a brilliant car, and you also get, you know, pretty good range, up to 600 or more than 600 kilometers WLTP. And then you have the Tesla Model X, which I've never liked the exterior design of, and I don't like the gull-wing doors or those the Tesla Model X doors. Falcon doors, I think they're called. Yeah, not a huge fan. Again, I like boxy, large SUVs. I don't think that's particularly good looking. The Model Y looks better, but that's a smaller car for this, for another list. Then we have the BYD Tang, also a car I've tested here on the channel, which is kind of boxy. Reminded me a lot of my old Volvo XC90. And this is a nice car, nice alternative, but it's from, you know, a Chinese manufacturer that is very unknown and is not available in all markets around the world. But I think this is a nice and cheaper alternative. You're not going to get, you know, as big of a battery. You're not going to get that range. It's not going to be as luxurious or as quiet. And also on the exterior, it's a bit bland, but I think it's overall handsome. Kind of looks like, you know, a 5 to 10-year-old large SUV from Toyota, but it's nice. And also it's not a new design. I think it is a nearing like 4 or 5 years old. And also it's not going to have fast charging. That's the problem with some of these, you know, Chinese SUVs or electric cars in general. They don't have a fast charging rate. I think like 110 or 120 kilowatts, which isn't very competitive now in 2022. Then we have the Hongqi EHS9, also another car I've driven. And I have to book one because I want to do more testing on one of those. Brilliant interior, a lovely interior. The exterior though, not a huge fan of. Yeah, I don't like the exterior. I think it's a bit vulgar. People think it looks like a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, which is the least attractive Rolls-Royce like the past 3 decades. It's not, you know, a nice comparison. It doesn't look like a Cullinan. It doesn't have the stance or the presence of a Cullinan. It's just, I'm personally, for me, it's not nice, but it is big on the inside. It's by far the biggest on the exterior of these cars. You're going to get a big battery pack, but again, you're not going to get, you know, the same range as you're going to get with the iX, the EX90, and also the new Q8 e-tron. But it's also going to be a little bit cheaper, competitively priced, and it is very luxurious. Also, like the BYD tank, it's not going to have that fast charging speed. Then we have the Neo ES8, also a car driven here on the channel, like almost a year ago now. Really nice car, like quiet, comfortable, big. I think it's a little bit bigger than the Volvo EX90. I do like the exterior styling of it. It has large presence, and it does maybe feel the most modern of the Chinese competitors. But it has that Nomi IA thing on the dashboard, which is just really creepy, weirds me out. If you could delete that, that would be really nice. Then I would probably consider that car. And also, it is good looking, but it has some few strange things on the exterior. But again, not the biggest battery pack in this, I think. So you're not going to get that WLTP rated range of up to 600 kilometers. And also slower charging rates. So these are the large electric SUV competitors, and the reason I'm not getting any of those other cars, I had the Q8 e-tron, the iX I think is ugly, Model X I think is ugly, BYD Tang is a nice car, it's not doing it for me, Hongqi I think is ugly, and also the Neo, it's good looking, but also that Nomi, the interior is nice, but again, not competitive battery pack and range and charging compared to the EX90, even though the EX90 is the same price as an X, an iX, and also a Q8 e-tron. Now let's hop into my configuration, and I just have to say, guys, that the actual delivery time of the new Volvo EX90 is 18 months. Yes, that is correct, 1.5 years. So I ordered one yesterday, signed the contract, and in the contract, I'm showing you guys here, it says, it's really funny. So it says here, estimated delivery Q2 2024. So yeah, so if you're looking to buy a big luxurious electric SUV today or in the near future, the EX90 is, well, not an option. You'll have to check one of the other cars I mentioned here. So I'm going to be doing the Norwegian configurator also, guys, so I do apologize if you don't understand Norwegian, but I'm going to try to explain everything as good as possible. So you have one trim level now at launch, and that is the Ultra. And Ultra has a lot of, standard equipment. There will probably be lower trims, later on, and also lower output versions, maybe even a single motor version. We'll have to see. But the Ultra, basically almost fully equipped. You get the panoramic sunroof, 7 seats, you get the big screens and infotainment system, 21-inch wheels, pixel LED headlights, head-up display. You also get, the Bose sound system. So yeah, you're going to get a lot of things there. So we're going to choose the Ultra, or the Ultra is actually already chosen. And then we're going to go for the twin performance. So the normal twin motor, dual electric motor is 408 horsepower, 0 to 100 kilometers, as it says here, in 5.9 seconds, and 585 kilometers of WLTP rated range. We're going to go for the twin performance, also dual electric motors, 517 horsepower with more power on that rear electric motor. So this is going to be more rear wheel drive bias. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 4.9 seconds, and then 580 kilometers of WLTP rated range. I was hoping that we would get an even more powerful version, maybe like with 600 plus horsepower. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour is closer to 4, but this will suffice. Maybe we'll get one later, but yeah. But it is, I mean, it's enough performance. It's 500 plus horsepower. Then we have the color, and if you guys are not new here on the channel, you are going to know that the color I've chosen is black. No, I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. You know, if you are new here, in the past 8 years, I've had a Volkswagen Tiguan, which was white. My first Volvo EX90 was white. I had an Audi A4 that was white, an e-tron 55 that was white. E-tron GT was Suzuka gray, but that color was basically white. I thought it was white, ordered it, didn't know, it was like, it's gray. And then my Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo, which is wrapped in Tiffany blue, is also white. So 6 cars in the past 7 years that are white. So of course we're gonna go for crystal white metallic, even though this color is a bit interesting. Sand dune, this is interesting. I think this is cool. I don't know, if I see this in person I may change my mind, but yeah, crystal white metallic. I love white. And also these standard 21-inch wheels, in my opinion, are really nice. The car, the EX90 in general, looks very sleek, modern, boxy, and stately. It kind of gives me Range Rover vibes. This is the closest thing we get to a Range Rover that, you know, isn't British. I don't think a Bentayga is. Like, it's luxurious, maybe more luxurious than a Range Rover, but it doesn't give me, you know, that Range Rover vibes, and neither does a Cullinan. But this is giving me, with those wheels, a little bit of a Range Rover vibe. But we're gonna go for, of course, the 22-inch wheels. And I was hoping that there would be a little more options for wheels at launch. But, you know, looking back at when I ordered my, yeah, I think there were more options back in 2015 when I ordered my first Volvo XC90. My God, I'm saying EX90 already. But yeah, I love these 22-inch wheels. The car looks modern. It looks sleek. I love the aero shape. I just like, I'm loving Volvo's wheel design in the past 6 years. I think they're really nailing the modern and sleek looks. We're also going to go for the tinted windows from the B-pillar and backward. And then we have a few different color options for the interior. And as I said, I think that this Nordico trim is, you know, they've said it's kind of like vinyl or faux leather, but they haven't gone in too much into detail. If it's anything close to that, you know, vinyl vegan type of material that they had in that Precept concept, I'm all for this. It just basically feels like Nappa leather, and I'm a sucker for leather. I've had Nappa leather in both my XC90s. I had upgraded Valcona leather in my e-tron 55, and I also have the upgraded leather in my Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo. So I'm one of those guys who like, oh, 4,000 or 5,000 euros option to get the nicer leather. Yeah, I'm all in. I'm one of those, which you never get back when you sell the car. But, you know, in my opinion, it just elevates the luxurious feeling. So you get the black interior. You also get this cardamom interior, which is also really nice, interesting. My first XC90 was white with the amber interior, which is a little bit more brown than this. I call it Ferrari beige. So it's kind of sad that they don't have that option here. If they had, maybe I would have chosen that. But this is also really nice. It's kind of muted. And also you get, you know, a different type of wood trim, which also is really nice. You also get the wool, sink tailored wool. Not my cup of tea, but I do understand why people like it. I tested, you know, the wool interior in the XC90 a few years ago when it came. But we're going to go for the Dawn quilted. And this is nice. You know, my second Volvo XC90 had an osmium gray exterior with the blonde leather. And this is very much like the blonde leather. So you get this light ash wood. You also get, you know, beautiful. And also here on the center console, guys, look at this. Look at this. This, I mean, applause Volvo. In the Polestar 3, this is glossy black. And when I went to the launch, those cars were brand new, but were already full of scratches and fingerprints. This is the way to go. And also the volume knob there. This just looks exceptional, this interior. And I can't wait to test out the new and updated Google infotainment system or the Android Automotive infotainment system, because in my opinion, the infotainment system in the Polestar 2 is probably the best in the world, best on the market. And beautiful quilted. Look at this quilt here and that stitching there on the side. Yeah, overall, really, really nice. Loving this interior. And then, yeah, light ash wood decor. And also you get that two-tone steering wheel, which is really, really nice. Though, again, I was hoping that they would do some type of, leather type of material. You can still do that, Nordico stitch on the steering wheel, because this hard touch plastic, or soft touch plastic, it's not the best. I also went for the Pilot Assist package, which gives you the LiDAR and all the assistant stuff. And then also winter wheels are included here if you order online. If you order at the dealer, which I did, we're going to get back to that when we get to pricing. That's an optional extra. And then also the Bowers & Wilkins sound system, which is going to be more amazing in this than in that second generation Volvo XC90. And that is, without a doubt, the best sound system I've ever heard in any car in my experience. And I've heard most of them. And if you go to the channel Savage Geese here on YouTube, he's done an instrumented testing on this sound system, and it is by far the best sound system out there. I mean, it just blows everything out of the water. This sound system was actually co-developed by Volvo and Bowers & Wilkins when they, developed the Volvo XC90. So I'm hoping they did the same thing here, because it's just amazing. I mean, it's better than sound systems costing 2 and 3 times as much from Burmester and Bang & Olufsen that I've heard in Porsches, Mercedes, and Audis. So it's exceptional. So this is the spec. Let's go next, which is financing. So here we have a few options. So initially, what I thought I was going to do was that I was going to go to a subscription service where you had like 3 months cancellation. So you can do the 36 months, then you're bound for 36 months, or you can do the subscription service where you cancel it, you have to pay for 3 months, you have the car for 3 months, and then you can deliver it. So that's the one I originally wanted to do with 20,000 kilometers a year, because even though I drive press cars throughout the year, on my personal vehicle, I always tend to do about 25,000 kilometers. My e-tron 55, I had it for a year, did 25,000 kilometers on that car. My Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo, I took delivery of that in February. That's already done almost 24,000 kilometers. So possibly even doing 25,000 kilometers a year is probably better for me. Then the price per month is 17,290 kroners, or about 1,700 euros or dollars, which is a lot of money, but you have included insurance, you have included service and maintenance, so you're getting a lot for your money. My only issue is that there's no deposit in, but when you go to complete your order, you have to pay 1 month up front, and that wouldn't be a problem if, let's say, you could take delivery of the car in 3 months, for even 6 months, but 18 months, guys. I don't want to pay this amount of money and have it sit there for 1.5 years. I could put that money elsewhere and I could, invest it. I could probably double that money with investments in 1.5 years. So you take this number, you multiply it by 12 if you want to have the car for 12 months, and then you have to put, that lost opportunity of investment on top of that. Then it gets quite expensive. So I didn't want to do that, and also I have a lot of cars on order, guys. If I would done that with all the cars, I would have like so many deposits down. I don't want to do it. And also I have a few watches on order. If you guys know, I'm into watches, and even, well, it's a lot of money in the end when you're going to have all of those deposits. So what I ended up doing is that I bought the car outright, but I went to the dealer, because if you want to do Care by Volvo, you can only do it online. I went to the dealer, and they actually, if you have a company like I do, if you go to a dealer in Norway, you can actually get a 4% discount, which is like a standard rate they give to everybody who either works in a company or has a company, or I think you have to have a company. So the price ended up being the same. So I think like the total price here with the winter wheels, and also they may, be VAT on electric cars from next year, and also this weight tax, which is bullshit. 997,000 kroner, 997,650 kroners. All the bells and whistles, 22-inch wheels on the summer and winter. So if that's about a million kroners, so 100,000 euros, 100,000 US dollars, 90,000 pounds, 92,000 pounds. It's an expensive car, but it's still cheaper than my first XC90, which was a diesel, and of course my second XC90, which was a hybrid. So again, in Norway, because of non-VAT, but if they have VAT, it's going to go up 150,000 kroners. Then it's still competitive. It's still competitive. So guys, before we end the video, let's take a look at this. I love the exterior styling, love the black details, the black mirror, which is, that frameless mirror contrasting the paint. everything this is just a well executed design. I love those 22-inch wheels, the flush door handles, the front end is my favorite. Even that LiDAR I don't mind too much, even though I wish they would have integrated that a little bit better. Also, that's probably gonna, take a few kilometers off the range, isn't it? Probably not too much. Rear end, my least favorite, but still stunning. I just love the profile, and also from the front end. Yeah, look at the front end, those headlights, amazing, amazing. So guys, what do you think about my EX90 spec? Would you have done it differently? Or would you even have chosen one of these other cars? Let me know in the comment section down below. So yeah, only 1.5 years, guys. I'm so excited. Well, probably gonna forget this car. I'm gonna have a few cars in between that time. Probably gonna do a Polestar 3 in about a year, and maybe change my e-tron, my Taycan Cross Turismo for another car, maybe an e-tron GT. We'll have to see. So I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below, and for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys later, and goodbye.